The Central Asian Report is a program about the ongoing geopolitical trends and the panorama of the present-day realities in Central Asia.
Politics, economics and culture, events, trends and people. All this on one territory. And only today, we're going to look exclusively at the diversity of women entrepreneurs. Hello, you're watching the Central Asian Report in today's program. Support of women entrepreneurs in Tajikistan. Kazakhstan. For socially oriented initiatives, look for women. Zhiydesh Idrisova. The woman who sings, and not just in Kyrgyzstan. And coming right up, headlines from Central Asia. The president of Turkmenistan, Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, has signed a decree on the introduction of a new military doctrine in the country. According to the country's president, the focus of this program is on national defense, and it is not directed against any particular states, but on the contrary, is intended for the development of friendly relations with all the countries of the world. Thus, Turkmenistan is still upholding its status of neutrality, despite the tense security situation in the region overall, and in particular on the border with Afghanistan. By the decree of the president of Uzbekistan, Islam Karimov, a large holding will be established that will operate in the country's food industry. It will encompass 176 enterprises that produce food, oil and fat, and meat and dairy products. Private entities will be able to voluntarily become part of the holding as associated members. According to the plans under the auspices of the holding, a fund for the development, reconstruction, and modernization of the food industry enterprises will be established. By 2020, the European Commission will allocate financial aid to Tajikistan in the amount of €251 million. The funds will be channeled towards the country's social sector and the strengthening of its borders. To be more specific, this will entail financing of the development of rural areas, healthcare and education. In addition, part of the funds will be allocated for strengthening security and stability in Central Asia. Usually it is women who are strong in spirit who decide to enter the field of entrepreneurship, but even they require assistance, in particular assistance from the state. Our correspondent in Dushanbe brings us the report on how Tajikistan's government is assisting businesswomen in their challenging endeavor. In the small city of Regar, everyone knows each other. Sitora Rajabova is a local celebrity. Almost everyone knows the story of how she went from being an ordinary economist of a ginnery plant to becoming a successful businesswoman. Sitora's life is like a guide to beginning entrepreneurs.
У меня вот бизнес, у меня или крови, я и на хлопзаводе работаю экономистом, тянуло меня.
Perhaps business is in my blood. Even when I worked at the ginnery plant as an economist, I was always drawn towards entrepreneurship. I got an impetus from a relative who asked me to come to Turkey, and that's how I got started.
Работать легче. Я вот занялась сразу.
Sitora was not intimidated by the potential town talk, left her small children with her husband and mother, and started traveling to Turkey to purchase goods there. Then she rented out a place for her store. Once her business started bringing in stable earnings, Sitora decided to no longer rent out a space and build her own building. But all this did not satiate her entrepreneurial appetite. She also opened up a clinic for the treatment of many health problems. This will be like a holiday retreat. A small balcony will be here for people to come out for fresh air. The current plans of this businesswoman now include creation of a multi-purpose commercial holding. She already has all the permit documents for the construction of the new building. On the first floor, there will be a cafe, on the second, a clinic, and above there will be apartments. And this is just one part of the plan. I want to open up a textile plant so that it will be possible to produce goods locally here in Tajikistan. Not far from the city of Regar, in the Tursunzada district, lives perhaps the most unusual businesswoman. Tursuno Yakubova, 80 years of age, manages her own Dekhan farm. Her children, of whom there are 12, help her. Her grandchildren and great-grandchildren also help in any way they can. We grow radish, tomatoes, cucumbers, and various herbs. The secret to her success is her work ethic. She's been working the land since she was 16. Back then, she collected cotton on collective farms, was always a leader. And when the time came to retire, she could not stop doing what she loves. I have been working with a grub hoe my entire life. Have always been a hard worker. That is why everything is going well. Women's entrepreneurship is developing rapidly in Tajikistan. The country even has a national association of women entrepreneurs, Marhaba, and united everyone who has just taken the first steps or has already established themselves as a manager. She organizes meetings of businesswomen with public representatives, teaches business management and the fundamentals of running a business. A couple of thousands of women, thanks to her, have started their own business.
Хотя до сих пор живы стереотипы, что бизнес не женское дело, но тем не менее, вот благодаря той заботе и правительства, и в первую
The stereotype that business is not something for women is still prevalent. Nevertheless, thanks to the efforts of the president, who despite the fact that our budget is not that big like in other countries, was the first in Central Asia to begin giving out grants to women entrepreneurs. Thanks to this, many were able to find work.
Значит, сделали программу «Гранты президента для женщин-предпринимателей», которые создают благодаря этому гранту тысячи рабочих мест.
The traditional image of a businesswoman who has subordinates and a private driver does not apply to women in Tajikistan. Though being engaged in serious projects at work, at home, women entrepreneurs still remain as caring housekeepers, wives, and mothers. That is why here it is indisputable. The family is more important than any business plan. Many social movements across the world were started by women. The countries of Central Asia are not an exception. Our correspondent in Almaty gathered the stories of women whose timid ideas became wide-scale and socially important phenomena. Details in our next report.
В следующем сюжете.
Stretch out the arms, bring them down. The leg, open, now stand up. This is the rehearsal of the first folk Kazakh musical, Orange Wine. Work on this piece commenced in the fall of 2015. The castings of dancers and performers are almost finished, the songs are all ready, and the script is almost finalized. Rehearsals of the first folk Kazakh musical are in full swing. According to the organizers, anyone can take part in its production. And everything was started with Dina Aldabergenova. More specifically, with her dream to transform her own poems into music. Timur Pochanov, who is a guitar player, volunteered to help. Thus, a creative duo was created, 15 songs were co-written, and then an idea to create a movie musical was born. Of course, I thought about integrating the songs into some sort of musical. At that time, these ideas just came in flashes, and then when Timur said, "Why not?" everything inside me started buzzing. I knew I had to do something like this. Dina and Timur looked for like-minded people through social networks. To their surprise, many people found the idea interesting. A couple of hundreds of people showed up for the casting. As a result, around 40 people were selected. They were all of different professions, which are more often than not far from the field of art. But they are united by one thing: readiness to work in the name of an idea, not thinking about the financial side. After the first shootings, I paid all the girls with stockings. The storyline of the musical is kept as a big secret. It is only known that the musical Orange Wine is a story of a woman who, after many long years of despair, finally understands that she has a right to true happiness. I'm doing this because this is the life I prefer. I simply like to participate. I love creating something. I love socially communicating with people and being engaged in some creative process. Overall, not only art unites the initiatives of different people. The social fund sport concept is engaged not only in the provision of necessary facilities for sports playgrounds. Today, a couple of dozens of volunteers are tirelessly working under this slogan, and all this commenced 4 years ago, when an Almaty resident, Anna Shilepova, decided to build an ice rink for her children in an empty field near her house.
My
husband was honing this idea for a long time. He walked around this empty field, thinking about how to organize access to water, and at some moment I also joined in, to such an extent there was no going back. Anna took a break from work and started the search for investors for the infrastructural development of the playground areas. At the beginning, mostly business representatives supported the initiative. But this year, the mayor's office of Almaty also believed in the viability of this project and allocated 500 million tenge for its development. Besides, the fund is active not only in the southern metropolis, but also in the cities of Karaganda and Pavlodar. Overall, this is a wide-scale initiative for the promotion of mass engagement in sports, which leaves very few indifferent to the cause. We have a group of women who are mothers who play football, a group of fathers who play hockey. They have their own proud team name, Dvaryani. Sometimes you have DJs playing at the ice rink. We organized salsa discotheques, maslenitsa fairs, noodle parties in collaboration with a Chinese restaurant, and we were all out on the ice rink with skates and eating Chinese noodles. There is no end in sight to the work that Anna Shilepova and her social fund have cut out for them, but the woman has no intent to stop until there is an infrastructure for participating in sports that is accessible to every citizen in every neighborhood across Kazakhstan. The voice of Asia, which was heard all across the world. At the end of 2015, the singer from Bishkek, Zhiydesh Idrisova, won the main prize at the Turkvision contest, and thereby took Kyrgyzstan's music scene to a new level. Our correspondent in Kyrgyzstan brings us the story of this female singer and how her life developed after the symbolic victory. This is how, in December of 2015, the Turkvision stage, and along with it, the multi-million audience of this popular contest, were conquered by the singer from Kyrgyzstan, Zhiydesh Idrisova. First and foremost, this was a challenge for me personally. I wanted to see whether I can withstand this all mentally, because it is very nerve-wracking and a great responsibility to represent your own country. The winners of previous Turkvision contests were awarded as a prize the opportunity to shoot a music video, which would then be aired on the Turkish International Channel, which boasts a couple of million viewers. In 2015, the organization of the contest underwent various types of difficulties, and the prize was no longer the same as in the previous years. Zhiydesh was awarded the winner's certificate, but the most important, she earned great recognition among her compatriots. This is how the singer was greeted at the Manas airport upon her return back home. And the celebratory uproar with regards to this victory is still stirring to this day, 3 months after her performance in Istanbul. I would go to the store or just be out on the street or at work, and a lot of people came up to me and expressed words of gratitude for representing Kyrgyzstan, saying how proud they are. However, Zhiydesh did not opt for simply basking in the sun of countrywide fame and love. The fanfare of Turkvision barely had a moment to quiet down, and Zhiydesh was already hard at work on her new musical material, recording songs and preparing a dance production with an expanded ballet crew. There are 11 of us right now, including me. We're learning a completely new program, from scratch. Right now we're preparing to shoot a video clip. We're also composing a new choreography. We want everything to be polished. In Kyrgyzstan, Zhiydesh enjoys great demand as an artist. Many across the world are eager to hear her perform live the main song of the Turkic world. But the singer's artistic ambitions extend beyond the borders of her homeland. She's dreaming of international tours. To wrap up, do not underestimate the value of women and the fruits of their labor, whatever they're engaged in. You're watching the Central Asian Report. Until next time on Kazakh TV.